So what you're going to basically be doing right now is I'm going to show you a screenshot of your PeopleSoft account. So if you're in your PeopleSoft account, this is kind of what your student center looks like. And essentially you see your current classes. This is where you want to pay attention to your holds. There's lots of different holds out there. There's a financial aid hold, there's accounting holds, there's an advisor registration hold, which most of you have right now. And what that will do is prevent you from registering. Anything that says a reminder on it isn't a hold, so don't worry about that. It's just reminding you have something to do, but it's not going to prevent you from registering. So the advisor registration hold is what you need to do, what you need to get cleared with your faculty advisor. You need to finalize your schedule, make sure it looks good with them, and then they will lift this hold. I always encourage students, make sure this is lifted before registration. So you may meet with your faculty advisor and everything sounds great, and they might be lifting them at the end of the day. So just double check it the next day and make sure it was lifted. Also down here, enrollment dates. So the Office of the Registrar will be assigning registration dates in the next week or so. So what you want to do is go into PeopleSoft and check when your registration date is. It usually goes, so it starts on the 9th and it usually for this term, and it usually goes like Monday priority registration, then seniors, then juniors, then sophomores, then freshmen on Friday. So what you want to make sure you're doing is getting ready at midnight on your date. So freshman would be Thursday at midnight and you're registering for your classes. So you just want to double check what that looks like. Also your program advisor, that's your faculty advisor. So this is where you find who this is in case you didn't know who it is, so that you can go ahead and contact them. A lot of them are available through the Passport, so you can make an appointment with them to get your schedule confirmed and your hold lifted. But if you don't find them in the Passport, shoot them an email and ask for a meeting. So that will be really important to do. So the other thing is, once you do all that, then you're going to go to Enroll. And you've already picked out you've done your Smart Planner, you've picked out your classes and schedule planner, you've sent them to your shopping cart. You go to Enroll and then you scroll down, you pick the term, and then you go into here, and what there will be is a box that basically says import cart. You won't have to pick out each class like we used to have to do. So you'll just import cart, you'll keep clicking that until the cart is empty and everything's loaded, and then you'll see your classes. If a class is full, I always recommend finding an open section, but if they're all full and you want a wait list, you need to make sure you click on the wait list button. We've had students who thought they added themselves to a wait list and they didn't click the wait list button. It'll tell you what number you are on the wait list. Maybe you're number 1 on the wait list, maybe you're number 5. So you want to know kind of where you stand, so you know if you need to find another section of the course. So you're going to go ahead and do that. And then you'll see your shopping cart. It'll list all the courses. It'll show you if they're still open or not. You'll proceed to step 2 of 3. You'll confirm classes, and this is that magic button. You'll say finish enrolling, and these should all change to green check marks. If for any reason they're not, you will get a red X, and it'll say something like this class requires permission to enroll. You will get this if you try to do that right now, because registration hasn't opened and you don't have a valid registration date yet. But at midnight on your registration date, you shouldn't get this class unless, for example, there's another error, and Crystal's going to go through some of the tips and some of the rules for registering for classes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and let Crystal go over some of those tips.
Yeah, so a couple of typical errors students get when they are registering for classes is they're selecting a class that has a lab, or what we call a co-requisite. So let's say you're trying to register for Physics 100 next semester. Physics 100 requires that you take Physics 100 lab with it. So if you try to add Physics 100 without the lab, you're going to get an error and it's not going to let you register. That's also the case if the lab is full or the lecture is full and you're trying to add an open section of lecture and a waitlisted section of lab, they need to both be open sections for you to be able to add both. Our recommendation is pick an open section, and if you're hoping to get into a different times section, swap it later on, right? Like get yourself enrolled in that physics and that physics lab, that chem lab, that oceanography lab. Just get your hands on that lab as a backup. And then if you want to try and swap times later on, you can. Registration runs for 2 full weeks. So the first week, everybody's got appointment times. The second week, you can keep changing around your schedule. So you can keep going back into PeopleSoft. You can go into Schedule Planner and see if classes or seats opened up in a class that you originally wanted because somebody swapped out of it. So you still have an additional week after you register to keep making changes to get your perfect schedule. I'm trying to think of other common errors that students run into. If you haven't completed the prerequisite, which is, you need to finish Math 100 to get into Physics 100. So if you haven't finished Math 100, you're not going to be able to get into Physics 100. So it'll let you know if there's an error and you can't get into the class because of a prerequisite. Another common error is some electives are reserved for certain divisions of students because it fits that division's schedule the best. So I know in the past, MT students had first dibs on maritime culture, and that's because that humanities, that lower division humanities class fit their schedule. That cohort needed that class to be reserved for them to be able to make all the rest of their classes work. So for the first couple of days, MT students got first dib at that class, and then any open seats opened up after a few days for students to be able to take those classes. So like Katie and I had said before, you can keep checking in and seeing if open seats are available. There is a list on the Office of the Registrar webpage. It's not up yet, but it should be up soon, and I'll show you really quick. Office of the Registrar, if you type in registrar into the search bar, they usually have some sort of list posted for like class requisites, and you can see if humanities is open for everybody to register, or if it's saved for certain divisions for the first couple of days. Under this class schedule and registration information, there is registration tools. So this kind of goes over what Katie and I were talking about. It's a how-to document on how to add a class. There's also a general electives list here posted. We might not be offering all of these this semester, and usually Registrar highlights the ones that are available for this upcoming term, so you can keep an eye out for that. But if you're asking yourself, I need a lower division humanities, what is that? You can check it in your Smart Planner, but you can also see a comprehensive list here of everything that would count for a lower division humanities, or everything that would count for a lower division social science, and on, lifelong understanding, life science, physical science, stuff like that. So the registrar's website is super helpful. University advising, our website also has links to these areas. So if you ever need to go back and review how to do one of these steps, you can go to our university advising webpage to advising tools, and we've got all of these how-to here's for you. So how to enroll, the class elective list, curriculum sheets, schedule planner, Smart Planner. So feel free to refresh if you need it. And then you can always email us if you need help, right? If you need us to walk you through the registration process in a couple of weeks, feel free to make an appointment with us. We're in the Passport or Passport Navigate app.